Hello everyone, it's Crystal Ether here. Happy 3.5 anniversary to HELIOS Rising Heroes, and I'm here to quickly go over to the newest event heroes in this game. Featuring the East sector in some sleek threads, these heroes are ready to make your day with a skill set that seems pretty familiar if you've been keeping up with the recent releases. I'm going to rip the bandage off now. These skill sets are basically the same as New Year's 2024 South, but with some slight changes. Most of this video will be comparisons based on this rather than going over the skills alone. You can click the card to the left or in the description if you want to learn more about how well these skills perform. Before we begin, I just want to make a note that if you really like the card, then go for it. This is a single player game, so you should enjoy your roster how you like. Whether you're joining me now or at a later annotation, let's get started. Popularity aside, Gray isn't the hero I'd have expected to be the star by personality alone, but the rookie has some sweet chocolates and plenty of offensive support to give you this February. He's basically New Year's 2024 Oscar with a critical rate link, which arguably is worse as the DPS hero in this set can maximize his critical rate easily. Does this mean this Gray, and by extension the set, is bad? Not at all. It's much easier to set up than their circus set with better payoffs, especially since it's harder to find a good DPS versus a good support. Either way, Valentines Gray is an excellent choice for new players, especially with the half anniversary enticing newbies to come in. It's hard to beat comprehensive support like this, though unfortunately Gray lacks accessible support-oriented frames. If you're looking to put him in a carry team, then his 4-star Christmas frame provides some much needed special attack orbs for the DPS to use. Otherwise, his 3-star Mafia frame heals allies and gives some DP gauge, though the commemorative 2nd anniversary frames showcasing past events do this better. Valentine's Billy has the same skill set as New Year's 2024 Akira, except with a useful burst gauge uplink for his allies. Billy also has more support-oriented frames to choose from based on his past cards, giving players more flexibility using this version over others. As a direct comparison, he has some improvements over his welfare comic version if the taunt status is required, but otherwise isn't that great of a supporter. I'd recommend equipping this Billy with his first birthday frame, as it provides healing, some BP gauge, and most importantly, an attack orb for all allies with a respectable 6-turn cooldown and max limit break. As for his more budget-friendly options, Billy's Chapter 3 frame provides some basic attack and defense buffs to a target while also boosting their critical rate, and his Chapter 12 frame is a great choice for offensive support, giving an ally some BP gauge and a special attack orb. If you plan to acquire all members of Valentine's East, I would recommend not using his Chapter 6 frame, as it is easy to max out the DPS's critical rate on turn 1. Spoiler, it's Asch. The other members of the party can't deal nearly as much damage unless you funnel buffs into them, but this isn't nearly as useful as just hyper-focusing on the main damage dealer. Valentine's J has a carbon copy of New Year's 2024 Will, but James' frame library isn't nearly as support-oriented as most of them are self-buffs. There isn't much else to say that I hadn't already with New Year's 2024 South, so let me recommend some frames for this J card. Like his Donut Patissiere card released earlier last month, some support frames that work well for him are his 4th birthday frame for special attack orb support, and the anniversary commemorative frames for the healing and BP generation they provide. I'd also recommend the hunting frame for this card, as this J isn't expected to attack often, so the BP gauge requirement is less significant as you can set him up to pay the cost on turn 1 and focus on attacking with the DPS hero. Rounding off Valentine's East is Asch, the main DPS of the set with an interesting choice of the damage link for his supporter allies. As a brief reminder, the combination of buffing key offensive stats alongside a massive critical rate buff and BP generation upon landing critical hits is not to be underestimated. In Helios, this is one of the strongest combos in the game that takes little effort to plan around. Simply press and forget those skills. In fact, I'd highly recommend going out of your way to get him if you're new, as he's currently irreplaceable in passion for what he can do. Unlike Brad, Asch has more offensive frame options to choose from, so there's a lot more flexibility on what you can equip him with in his main frame slot. His first birthday frame provides a generic attack and defense buff for himself alongside a minor critical rate buff, but the 2 attack orbs it provides him are useful as part of a single skill. Asch's pirate frame is also an option, but keep in mind that the critical rate buff won't apply due to Valentine Asch's first skill with a higher modifier. The critical damage buff is very welcome, however, with a 48% boost at max limit break. For 3-star options, his Christmas frame buffs his burst damage for 3 turns while also giving him a special attack orb, synergizing well with his high PP generation despite the 50% uptime. Players who participate in the cheerleader event can also use his cheerleader frame, debuffing an enemy's attack and defense for 3 turns. Valentine's East is just another example of Happy Elements streamlining releases into a unified framework, and while I am ecstatic that free-to-plays have access to powerful tools, I'm also concerned about how this will affect future content releases. It makes me wonder how Happy Elements will approach newer cards. Aesthetics are one thing and can't really be judged, but if you already have a powerful team, there isn't any point of rolling for new cards outside of point bonuses when you already have a solution to a tough boss. In any case, that's all for this analysis. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next video.